What's this? Big Sarge is wearing regular 21st century civilian clothing? Surprise, motherfucker! Some people thought that I gave him the bait and switch, suckering people in with politics and then switching to history, mainly because those some people don't watch my content regularly. What's up, fam of liberty, and also everyone else watching this video who isn't following our channel for some unknown, mystifying, stupefying reason? It's your boy Big Sarge, the artist formerly known as Admin Tim. I am the founder of the Sons of Liberty social media organization that's been steadily enraging MAGA fuckface ass clowns and some leftists since 2015. If you saw us out in the streets at a protest for the first time and or you're new to our channel, I know what you might be thinking, so let me go ahead and get this out of the way. Fuck Donald Trump, fuck neo-Nazi illegal immigrant Elon Musk, fuck GOP politicians, fuck all these limp dick Democrat politicians that aren't angry out there fighting for us tooth and nail, and also fuck the billionaires, I mean the wealth hoarders that have their fucking boots on the neck of just about every American citizen. Neither this channel nor its comment sections are a safe space for bootlicking simps for a Russian asset, a convicted felon, adjudicated rapist, wish.com, fascist oligarch, failed insurrectionist, wannabe authoritarian tyrant, or his sugar daddy, the world's biggest supervillain, thin-skinned, beta bitch-made man-child cuck from South Africa that nobody fucking elected but somehow is still in our politics. Now you know where I stand on things. So if you're still here and you're not frantically rage typing into my comments box like a triggered snowflake who's ass mad about his financial status plummeting but somehow it's Biden's fault, then maybe consider following this channel after you watch this video and deciding whether or not you like the cut of my jib. Before I get into the topic of today's video, I want to address something. Last night on the Sons of Liberty live stream, I had as my guest JP the Angry Ginger from Progressive Matters. This was a great show. I enjoyed JP being on the show, and I encourage you to go watch the live stream recording that's on our YouTube and or Facebook. Now, at the tail end of that show, I unveiled the artwork for the t-shirt that's exclusively available to our crowdfunding campaign, which you can see here as I run my mouth about it. Wanted to clarify a couple of things about this before I get on with the show. Number one, this design is exclusive only to backers of the Sons of Liberty crowdfunding campaign that we have running on Indiegogo. We're currently about 38% funded, which means I can only make 3 or 4-ish episodes. And that's fine. I know a lot of you started following me for the politics and not for the history lessons, whatever. History is political, but that's fine. 3 episodes is better than none at all. Anyway, the shirt is only available to all backers at the $50 level or higher. But if you pledge for less than that, you can still add on a shirt. I'm not 100% sure how because I can't back my own campaign, but there is an add-on option for the shirt. Anyway, the other question is, why is this only available for the campaign and why won't it ever be available any other way? The answer is simple, because I fucking said so. Just kidding. You can call it fear of missing out or FOMO, but realistically speaking, I wanted to create a one-off design that was limited and only available to people backing our crowdfunding campaign. That is the avenue for how you get this shirt. And I wanted for people who are investing in our production to have something special that only they could ever have. And again, I realize some of you came here for the political hot takes and not the historical stuff, but a lot of you order Sons of Liberty shirts, and the question was asked by several people, and I didn't get to it in the stream, so there's your answer. One other thing that's only going to be available to the campaign backers is that stretch goal that we're not going to hit because I'm a realist. That stretch goal is a private live-streamed episode of Drunken Civil War history with Big Sarge. Because I'm like fucking Tyrion Lannister. I drink and I know things, and I also support my local sex workers with my own money. Did I say that out loud? I'll be inviting some of you to a live taping in a bar of this episode where I start drinking and talking about some aspects of Civil War history. Those of you who back the campaign but cannot make the live taping will get to watch via a private live stream. I'll have a moderator feeding me questions until I'm too blootered to answer. The accent comes out and I start talking gibberish, or I just pass the fuck out, but I digress. A couple of days ago, it was reported that Secretary of Health Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the guy who claims worms ate his brain, has ordered the National Institutes of Health to collect private medical records from a number of federal and commercial databases. RFK wants these records, ostensibly to study autism. RFK is obsessed with autism and has embraced and peddled quite a few vaccine-linked autism conspiracies. What's funny is that self-diagnosed autist Elon Musk has absolutely zero involvement, and remember that because it may come up again. This new data will allegedly, and I say allegedly with heavy emphasis on the wrong syllable, this new data will allegedly allow quote-unquote external researchers handpicked by RFK to work on his autism studies, the opportunities to study comprehensive patient data with broad coverage of the US population for the first time. Now, if you actually think that they're going to study autism and then be like, oh, it's not caused by vaccines. Oh, we were wrong. Then you are a fucking fool. Absolutely not going to happen. Anyway, the government plans to collect medication records from pharmacy chains, lab testing, and genomic data from patients treated by both the Department of Veterans Affairs and Indian Health Services, claims from private insurers, and data from your smartwatches and fitness trackers. The government is also now in talks with the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services to broaden agreements governing access to their data. So everyone talking about HIPAA violations, don't worry, hold your horses. I'll be in the barn to bend you over in a haystack in a second. By the way, this information isn't hearsay or blue anon conspiracy gibberish. This is a real quote from the director of the National Institute of Health, Dr. J. Bhattacharya. Oh, one more thing. Additionally, the new disease registry is going to be launched to track Americans with autism, which will also be integrated into this data tracking. Let me say that again. A new disease registry is being launched to track Americans with autism. If you know anything at all about RFK besides the absolutely scathing, derisive mockery that the Sons of Liberty has for his many faults and sins and foibles, then one thing that you may know, and if you don't know, then now you know, motherfucker. One thing you may already know is that RFK is absolutely fucking obsessed with autism. Like, he seriously gives me Nazi death camp surgeon vibes. Y'all remember Dr. Joseph Mengele, the unhinged, racist, genocidal lunatic who experimented on concentration camp victims? And when I say experimented, I don't mean like, here, take this horse dewormer, let's see what happens to your cancer. Which I shouldn't have to say, that by itself is already fucking heinous. I'm not even going to talk about that freak butcher's experiments, but if you know about Mengele, then you know. Anyway, RFK is giving me serious creeper vibes, and with the unlimited power of a rogue government that ignores the judicial branch and the legislative branch, there's no telling what this weird fuck will do. There is a certain segment of the population that uses the word autism or autistic as an ableist pejorative, or in layman's terms, as an insult. On the lighter end of things, they believe autism was caused by a vaccine, and on the darker end of things, these are the same people who say shit like, are you retarded? Or stop being an autist. Invariably, a lot of these same people voted for Trump. It's worth remembering that many church leaders and their followers who are now in positions within our government have called autism demonic over the last several years. It gets worse though. RFK has gone on record saying that he wants to send autistic people to reparenting camps. So if you thought that conservatives were only weaponized against gay people and trans people and think that they can cure gay people with conversion therapy or electroshock therapy, you need to understand that they're coming after autistic people and their parents next. And they have a weird dude with a fetish leading them. And I guarantee you that weird dude who fetishizes autistic people won't bother the world's wealthiest self-diagnosed autistic guy, although it would be peak America if they did. Look, if you thought that the government having records on you was ever a good thing, yeah, maybe that used to be true. But just like I am not ever going to give the government my firearms registration data because it's enough for me for them to know that Big Sarge has a concealed carry permit. And also, I'm just not ever going to fucking register on a government list for autistic people. Like, I'm not going to sign up any of my kids or my stepkids or family members. I'm just not going to fucking do it. Never in my life did I think that I'd have to step out in front of the autistic community and be a meat shield for them. This is peak fucking fascism. This is peak late 1930s Nazi Germany. Now, let's talk about HIPAA violations. Yeah, I know a lot of big, prestigious medical centers have a bunch of well-paid, powerful attorneys, and yeah, I know turning over your information is a violation of the HIPAA Act. But here's the thing. Y'all remember the Dixie Chicks? The Chicks. Remember that murder ballad, Goodbye Earl? But Earl walked right through that restraining order and put her in intensive care. Remember how the legislative branch told the executive branch, hey, you can't do that. And the administration said, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Remember how the fucking Supreme Court of all august bodies said, stop what you're doing. You can't do that. Cease and desist. And the administration said, I do what I want. I'm out of control. Remember how the administration created this totally bullshit, totally fake, totally illegal Department of Government Efficiency, acronym DOGE, pronounced douche, staffed by these wet behind the ears little bastard incels who walked into places and claimed to be in charge of something, and people immediately caved. Remember how douche gutted funding for things that they shouldn't have been able to gut, and everyone just went along with it. And the people that didn't go along with it got fired, and they were replaced by a bootlicking toady who would go along with it. Remember how courts and lawyers and judges said, no, this agency does not have to comply, it will not comply, and then it happened anyway? Remember how prestigious hospitals and universities and university hospital systems got threatened by the government to lose their funding if they didn't comply with some nebulous bullshit? Some of them are fighting back, but some of them are rolling over. And there's no guarantee that the ones who are fighting back are going to win. And even if they did win, there's no guarantee that the government won't just force them to capitulate anyway. Because we live in the dumbest fucking timeline with the absolutely most uneducated, dumbest fucking people willfully cheering on all the mayhem and destruction. Empathy is a sin. Due process is a sin. As long as we get to own the libs, then we'll soak ourselves in gasoline and hand you the matches. So if you think for one goddamn motherfucking second that the HIPAA Act is going to stop the government from collecting your information or your kids' information, if you have somehow deluded yourself into thinking that all these medical institutions with your private medical data are going to say, nah, this is against the law, I will not comply, then I think you need to reconsider that pending divorce that you have with reality and maybe reconcile with your partner whose name is the here and now, because you need to wake the fuck up, America. They are going to try and reparent, which is another word for forcibly re-educate your autistic child. And that's the tame end of things. Who knows what kind of weird fucking experiments they're going to do once they get you into reparenting camps. They're going to try to reparent your autistic child, and I guarantee you they're going to try fucking with you too for vaccinating your kid and giving them the autism or whatever cockamamie horseshit, this goddamn abomination of a fucking upward-failing bargain bin, bottom-of-the-barrel doofus who got his job as HHS secretary because he complimented Trump one time. The resistance starts with us. You want to know how you can get involved in the Sons of Liberty resistance movement? We have organized Sons of Liberty chapters by region and by state all across the country. Please do not ask me in the comment sections if we have a chapter in such and such state or such and such city, such and such region. Get on Discord, because that is where our organization starts its base of operations. And for OPSEC purposes, operation security, I am not going to respond to these inquiries. I have this whole ass video on the subject of OPSEC, or operation security. OPSEC is essentially the practice of denying information to your opposition, whoever or whatever that opposition may be. So you need to watch that video if this is a foreign concept to you. I promote the Sons of Liberty Discord server in almost every single video that I do, because this is where our Fam of Liberty is based. On our Discord, you can organize with local Fam of Liberty for things like rallies and protests and bake sales. You can learn about practical things such as self-defense courses and find firearms instructors who are local to you and who are left-leaning. You can learn about home defense, learn about home security. You can participate in firearms discussions with subject matter experts. You can learn about growing your own food in your own victory gardens that you planted, and then jarring and canning and preserving that food. You can figure out your shit hits the fan contingency plans, build first aid kits, build bug out bags, link up with other Fam of Liberty members who can assist you with moving to safety if you need to be safe, or going out of state for some camping with newly discovered long lost aunts and uncles, or if you have autistic children and RFK wants to do weird reparenting experiments on them. And for those of you who don't see our social media posts or videos, because I've seen your comments, even though you follow us, on Discord there's a channel where you can get updates from our social media, which does make our Discord ping heavy, thanks to the webhooks that we use to integrate our various social media notifications, but you can disable those in the channel that's appropriately named Ping Roll. If you're having trouble with Discord, I have this whole ass antiquated YouTube tutorial about the Sons of Liberty Discord server that I'm still trying to work on a new one. But if you need assistance with Discord, start with that video. The link to our Discord server is in the Throatpunch at the end of this video and all of our other videos. That invite link is also in the YouTube and Facebook video descriptions and in the YouTube and TikTok channel descriptions. On Facebook, I also have this whole pinned post with all of our socials, as well as a link tree page that has all of our socials there as well. If you like the shirts or the hoodie that I wear in my videos, some of them, but not all of them, are available in the Sons of Liberty merch store. That's provided that Etsy doesn't take me down for repeated content violations. The merch store is listed in the link tree in our YouTube channel description and in the video description. New merch goes up all the time, and a lot of the designs and merch get added specifically because you have requested them in our comment sections, like the Fight for Your Ancestors shirt that was requested for people of color because the white colonial era revolutionary patriot wasn't relevant to their ancestry. And like I said at the start of this video, there's a one-off shirt design that's only available through certain pledges in the crowdfunding campaign. Yes, I'm shamelessly promoting that. If you like our video content, we have this whole social media presence elsewhere, so we'd appreciate it if you would follow us on all of our other socials, whichever ones that you have. The various socials that we have, there's like 14 or 15 of them, they're listed in the Throatpunch at the end of our videos and in the link tree, which can be found on the channel description. On YouTube and TikTok, we would also appreciate it if you would subscribe, like, and get notifications on our channel. It's a little bit of a different process on TikTok, but if you're on TikTok, then you already know that. Anyway, fuck TikTok. I don't normally upload all of my videos to TikTok. I only upload short clips, but this time I'm uploading this entire thing because it's important. So if you're watching this on TikTok, thank you. Sorry that the view counts are low and sorry you don't always see us. You can help us extend our reach by sharing our video content on all of your socials. Go find the relevant Sons of Liberty account on that platform and share the content that we post, including this video, because it's probably already there. You can help us beat the algorithm by leaving us at least 7 words in the comment sections. Why 7 words, you might ask? I'm happy to tell you. 7 words is apparently the magic number for the algorithm to decide that your engagement on our content is more meaningful and thought-provoking than a drive-by LOL or a good video today or anything else. So therefore, it suggests our videos and our channel to people who watch the same things that you watch. That algorithm works on most other social media platforms, so be cognizant of that on places where you support your favorite content creators. On that note, if you have watched this video all the way to the end and literally nothing that I've ranted about or talked about has gifted you with the words to leave a comment here, but you still want to help us beat the algorithm, then the phrase, "I made it to the end, Big Sarge," is actually 8 words. So you can be an overachiever, or if you can't think of anything else to say, despite all of the rage bait that I've said, there's a suggestion for you. That is my time for today. 2 claps and a Rick. 1 team, 1 fight. Join or die. Woo! Now guess what time it is.
And now it's time for the Throatpunch!